Good morning, friends. Welcome to Miss Lynn's Story Corner. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all in our places with bright smiling faces. And this is the way we start our new day. Oobalortuck. All right, Fernando, do you want to say hello to our friends? He's ready for a story, are you? All right, I am ready to tell you a story or share with you a book about Old Man Winter and spring. Right now, outside, spring is arriving, and winter is getting ready to go to a different part of the globe, because when it is springtime here, it's fall on the other side of the globe in the southern hemisphere. Old Man Winter is getting ready to leave the north in this book and outside our door, getting ready to go down to the southern hemisphere. And I'll show you what I mean by that. I brought you a picture of half of the globe, this half where we live, and it is divided by the equator right here. Now, this globe, this picture is tipped a little bit, so it shows this as a smaller half of the world, but it's really in equal parts. That means the same. So, here is North America, and here is South America. We know a song about that, don't we? Remember it? Ready to help me sing it? North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa. Don't forget Australia. Don't forget Antarctica. These are the continents, these are the continents, these are the continents of the world. Very good. All right, so here is North America and South America. And right now it's spring up in this part of the globe. And down here it's starting to get colder. It's becoming fall for people down there. When it's summer up here, it's winter down here. So in our story, the one I'm going to read today, it's been winter for a long time up here in the northern hemisphere, the north. And people are getting a little tired of winter, and winter's getting a little tired too. And it's time for spring to arrive. So winter needs to leave and go down here by Argentina in South America and Brazil in South America, and get ready for winter here while it becomes summer here, warmer, colder. That's what's going to happen in this book. You ready to hear? Okay, the book is called Old Winter. Now in this book, Old Winter looks like an old man. And so this book is pretending that if winter could be a person, it might be an old man. And then later on in this book, you'll see a person who is being spring, who is a lady with 2 children. Now, if winter walked into this room, old man winter, then it would feel cold and wintry. And winter isn't really a person, but this book is pretending. And if spring walked into this room, it would be much warmer. But spring really isn't a person. But in this book, it's pretending. All right, so let's read Old Winter. Put on my spectacles, and here we go. Old Winter is written by Judith Benet Richardson. Pictures are by R.W. Alley. They must have cooperated on this book. One of them wrote the words, and one of them drew the pictures. Old Winter. And there it shows a closet with boots. Old Winter. Here's the town. And in this town called Sunspot, you can see it's wintry. They've been building snowmen. They've been digging snow, plowing snow, blowing snow out of the way, slipping through snow, sliding through snow. And they're starting to get a little tired of it. You'll see. Old Winter was in the grocery store, rummaging through the ice cream freezer. He couldn't decide whether he wanted Brazil Nut Crunch ice cream for dinner or chocolate-covered frozen banana ice cream for dinner. I think if you're winter, you get to eat ice cream for dinner. I'd better eat a good meal, he thought, because I fly south tonight. Ooh, south, down towards South America, where they're getting ready for winter. So here's the grocery store. People are coming in with their shopping carts, and over here is Old Man Winter, and he is looking for his dinner in the ice cream freezer. And you can see there's hearts put up all around for decorations. That gives you a clue. What month is this? Valentine's Day comes in February. So this must be February. So we had February, and then we had March, and now we're just starting April. I hate winter, said Mrs. Ferguson. All this dirty snow, all these heavy clothes, car trouble, ice on the sidewalks. I'm all fed up. Old Winter peered around the end of the aisle. Is that me she's talking about? He wondered. And there you can see, there she is, complaining about winter. And he's hiding behind saying, is she talking about me? What? This rotten winter, it's the worst. Oh, I am so glad. I would be glad if I could stop shoveling the snow and get out in the garden, bellowed Mr. Bob Bailey. And play baseball, said his son Peter. The heck with old winter. And Peter tried to slide into home plate, which is part of playing baseball, but his boots got stuck on the floor and he slid in and crashed into part of the grocery store display. There he is on the floor because he slid and got stuck. And here is his dad wanting to get out in the garden and complaining because he can't. And there's a lady who, what are you doing, my dear, on the floor? Old Winter could not believe his ears. He had worked hard for months and months. He had brought beautiful, cold, sparkling winter to this little town. And did they care? Did they appreciate him? No, they wanted to melt him away. They wanted to run him right out of town. Old Winter stomped into the freezer, the big walk-in freezer where big food is kept, and he slammed the door, and he slumped down in the dark corner where he kept his special boots, his wind whistle, and his bag of snowflakes. They'll probably hate me when I get to South America, too, he grumbled. I'm not doing one more thing for anybody, so there. And here is Old Man Winter getting upset and angry with people. And here he said, I made this town beautiful, white, wintry, and I'm going to stomp off into the freezer where I'm going to take a nap for a while and do nothing for anybody. Oh, he dropped his ice cream even, I think. Old Winter lay down inside the freezer and he went to sleep. And while he slept, for miles and miles around him, cold winter covered the land. It was the longest winter the people in town could remember. Icicles hung down to the ground and snow piled up to the rooftops. Peter Bailey's pitching arm, the one that throws the baseball, grew weak and tired from not being used. And Mrs. Ferguson slept in her hat and her matching long underwear. Oh, she wore her hat to bed, it was so cold. Her long underwear keeps her warm. But you see Old Man Winter? He's right here in the freezer, sleeping. Meanwhile, everybody in town is tired of winter. And here's Peter Bailey waiting to play baseball. Everybody's getting tired. Oh, there's a lady sleeping in her hat and her long underwear. Suddenly some geese are coming into town. Now, one thing about geese, they fly south when it's winter here, and then they fly north when it's getting warmer. So they're coming back in. It's supposed to be warming up. The geese are migrating. They like to be in the warmer parts, so they expect it to start getting warmer here in this town that Old Man Winter's still in. 2 months went by, and 2 months later, Winter woke up Oh, and he yawned and stretched, and he shuffled out of the freezer, and he was going towards the front door of the grocery store. So here he is, waking up and yawning. It's been 2 months he's been sleeping in the freezer. And he comes out, and the winter's still there, of course, because he's still there. And everybody in the grocery stores, there's like water and snow, and it's snowing some more, and everybody looking really tired of putting on clothes and boots and being in the wet, wintry world. They are more than ready for spring. The world looked even worse outside. The snow was packed and filthy, and that means really dirty. Cars were crusted over with mud and salt, except for 2 clear circles in each of the windshield, where the windshield wipers had gone back and forth and cleared a place for the driver to see. A few people in thick coats huddled by the newspaper box. Old Winter could see what the newspaper said. It said, "The town is frozen. Is there no end in sight for this winter?" Oh, and now you can see how even worse it looks. Snow is everywhere. Look at that. People are piled up in their cars, and the shopping carts are all in a big clump, and everybody is just tired, and the snow even looks tired. It's all dirty. They are ready for warm. They are tired of snow. Walk, 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 walk. There he is. There he is. Old Winter looked around to see 4 geese waddling towards him. Their white neck feathers were dirty, and their long gray wings dragged in the slushy snow. Remember, geese like it when it's warmer, and that's why they came to town, because it's supposed to start getting warmer. But they've been there a while, and it's not warmer. So they want to talk to Old Man Winter. So here's everybody shoving around through the snow, and the cars and the shopping carts. And do you see the geese? Look closely. Do you see the geese? Do you see Old Man Winter reading the newspaper? Here's Old Man Winter in the newspaper, and there are the geese. And they want to come talk to him. Hey, it's supposed to be warmer here, right? Because winter's supposed to have moved on towards South America. Geese kind of hiss a little bit. The geese stuck out their necks at Old Winter. "What's the matter with you?" said Old Winter crossly, as he kind of tiptoed back away from those geese with their beaks out pointing towards him. "We are desperate," said the most tattered of the geese. "There is nothing to eat as long as you are around. Do you get the point? Do you?" Growled Old Man Winter. "We beg you, sir, to please leave the way you always have done." "Well, I'll go when I'm good and ready," said Old Man Winter. He stared at the geese with his fierce gray eyes, and their wings drooped. And they turned around and walked away. So here on this page is the geese saying, "Hey, would you please go to South America?" And over here he's saying, "I'll go when I'm good and ready." And they're going, Suddenly, Winter noticed a woman dressed in a bright green t-shirt. She was getting out of a shiny yellow car. We talked the other day about warm colors and cold colors. A yellow car? Who do you think has just arrived? Yellow was one of the colors we used to make our sunshine. "No, don't come out yet," the woman said to 2 children who were still in the back seat. "No, Daffodil, please stay in there. You'll freeze. Violet, stay right where you are. I'll see if I can find out what's going on." Daffodil and Violet, those are flowers. Well, those are the names that some flowers have. Daffodil is one of the first flowers to come up in the spring, and so was violets. Well, right in the middle of winter, right while everybody's still struggling through the snow and the geese are still waiting, along comes the yellow car. And out jumps this lady in green with her shorts and her sandals. Please stay in there, Daffodil. Please stay in there, Violet. Do you think she could have maybe brought the flowers with her? Spring does, you know. The lady looked around and saw Old Winter. Oh, there you are, she said in surprise. Now, you're usually gone by the time I get here. Is anything wrong? Is there anything I can do to help you? Old Man Winter didn't answer, so she asked softly, did you get tired? Are you too tired to go on? Old Winter shuffled his feet. He looked down and he noticed a few tiny little flowers that had broken out of the dirty crust of ice. He thought of the other flower bulbs that were planted, waiting for spring. They're waiting to push through. And then he looked at the geese, standing miserably by a frozen puddle. Geese like to swim in water, and frozen puddles are ice, right? Can't swim in a puddle of ice. And he is looking like he's starting to think about what he should do next. There is Spring talking to Old Man Winter. Excuse me, don't you mean to move on? And then over here he's starting to think, oh, look at the little flowers. Aren't there bulbs? And the geese, see the geese? They're trying to swim in a puddle that's frozen solid with ice. Tiny little flowers. Daffodil, one of the little girls in the back seat of the yellow car, rolled down the window. It's time to go, she called out to Old Man Winter. It's our turn now. Oh, I was just leaving, grumbled the Old Man Winter. Just don't rush me. Well, said the woman named Spring, I happen to know that they are really looking forward to seeing you in Argentina. The plants are getting all worn out down there from having to be flowers so long. They need a rest. Winter gives flowers rest. All the plants get a rest in the winter. And those bears, they're going to be grumpy if they don't get to go and hibernate for a long winter's sleep. The world needs us, both of us. Old Winter, we've just got to keep going whether we like it or not. You need to go down to South America and give the bears and flowers a rest. And I need to be up here where the flowers can grow and the bears can wake up finally. Winter remembered how much he liked to visit South America and how exciting it was to scatter the first few snowflakes over the pampas. Now the pampas are what they call big grassy plains, big, huge pieces of land covered in grass. That's what Argentina and Chile and the other countries in South America call them, the pampas. So he ran back to the freezer to get his boots. He picked up his bag of snowflakes and he grabbed his wind whistle. Here she is reminding him that they need to both be in the parts of the world they're supposed to be in. He needs to go down and give the bears and the flowers and plants a chance to rest. She needs to wake them all up in the north and get them growing and going again. Oh yeah, he says he remembers how much he likes it in South America. So he runs into the freezer and he's grabbing his boots and his bag of snowflakes and his wind whistle. With one mighty stride, that means one giant step, he was out of the parking lot and on his way. So long, called Daffodil as he bounded over her head. Old Winter waved back with a blast of sleet and snow. Daffodil jumped out from the car. Hey, the geese looked up startled. Honking, honk, 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 questioned one of the geese. Honk, 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 called another. All over town, people looked up because a warm breeze was wafting over the parking lot and icicles fell with a crash off the side of the grocery store. So there he goes, flying away from town, and Spring is left with her children, Daffodil and Violet, and the ice is starting to melt. Icicles are falling off. People are starting to feel a little bit of warm in the wind now. And then it rained. Now, one thing spring brings is rain. You know, April showers bring May flowers. And here is spring bringing rain. And I'll show you the picture just a minute. After 3 days, the sun shone out from behind a cloud. "Hey, let's play baseball," cheered Peter when he saw the sun. "Oh, no more boots, hooray." He practiced to swing so hard that he fell into a puddle of melted snow. "Yes, spring's finally here," said Mrs. Ferguson, "and so is the mud. My driveway is a swamp." "Washed away all my dirt in the night. All that rain washed away my garden dirt," complained Bob Bailey. And there is spring. It's almost like she's watering all the land to get melted snow away and give the land a good drink. And this book is imagining that she's got a watering can pouring the rain down on all the people from up above. And over here, here's Peter trying to play baseball, but it's a little too soon. And people are having to walk through the mud. And he has a lot of garden work to do. So he's sort of complaining, and so is the lady. But some people are never happy, said Daffodil. "You can't grow anything if there isn't a little rain," said her sister Violet. Spring took some seed packages from the from the grocery store display. And then she opened the door. "What are you going to plant?" asked Bob Bailey, the gardener. "Oh, I think a little bit of everything," she answered. "A little of this and a little of that." And she winked at the Baileys as she headed for the door. And then Spring drove off further into the north, scattering seeds in every direction. Here she is. She is buying the seeds. And there's Daffodil and Violet beside her right there. And over here, they are driving away. And behind them, they leave spring as they go. The rain and snow, but they are driving into it. And as they go, it becomes spring. So you can see how they were down here, where the grass is green now, and there's rabbits and no snow. And as they drive, things are starting to change. Isn't that a fun way to think of spring arriving? And look at the geese. They're much happier flying off. They're going to follow the car as it goes further north, bringing the warm. And far away in South America, in the country of Argentina, the first snowflakes were just starting to fall down onto the feathery grasses of the pampas. And here's the Argentine cowboys called gauchos. And they are noticing, winter's coming. Look at it, starting to snow. And there's Old Man Winter bringing the snow and the winter to this place that has been tired of summer. This guy's singing a song. All right. I like that book because I like thinking of Old Man Winter and spring and daffodil and violet. And I really liked those pictures of those tiny little flowers around Spring's feet. Tiny little ones. Everywhere she walks, a flower grows. You know, you see those right there? See those little flowers? And over here too. Tiny little flowers are growing. I think Fernando's getting ready to do art. Well, I have an art project today. We could do little flowers. Well, kind of little flowers. Let's go over to the art table and I'll show you. Come on, Fernando, shall we go? All right, Fernando, we'll bring our friends. You can come over. This Fernando's fuzzy feet. Okay, Fernando, you want to do art for a little while? Last time we tried doing art with Fernando, it didn't work too well. And I think he stepped in my paint. All right, Fernando, I'm going to move the paint bottle away from you. If I need more, I know where to find it. And shall we show our friends what we have planned? Fernando might help. All right, so I'll show you what I've got planned today. I've got a blue piece of paper, but you could have white paper or any paper. And I might have to move Fernando away from the camera. What do you think? Fernando, can you come over here? Oh, I wish you could see that. Can you see what Fernando was doing? He was wiping his face. All right. Well, I might have to get the book bag and have Fernando go back in it. He's over here looking at the glue, and he's over here. Look what we have, Fernando. I have a button, but you can use anything. This is going to be the center of our flower, and this is going to be the outside of the flower. So if you have a middle part, you could put it right in that part of the, what is this? This is a cupcake or a muffin paper. And we can glue it right on your paper. Oh, I have bunny footprints all over the art table from the paint. Oh, well now Fernando's gonna lay right there. He's gonna lay right there and take a nap, and you won't be able to see. Fernando, can you move out of the way? Maybe take a nap in the book bag? I'll show you how handsome he looks. Can you see him all ready to take a nap? All right, well, I'm going to invite Fernando into my book bag. So, he's making it harder for us to do art. But thanks for visiting, Fernando. Let's put Fernando into the book bag. Okay, so Fernando is back in the book bag. Okay, and now we'll go on. I'll hang the book bag right here on my rocking chair. Okay, so as I was saying, here is my paper. It can be any color paper. Here is my muffin or cupcake paper, and I'm gonna glue it onto this blue piece of paper. After I make some green stems and leaves, maybe, think of what flowers look like. So, did I put paint on my face? Okay, so I have my marker. I could just draw a stem with a marker, and you can be creative. Make your stem go in any direction. This is my stem. But you could also use paint, and I think I forgot my paintbrush, so I might just dab my finger and get creative with what I do have. I hope you do the same thing. If you don't have these things, get creative with what you do have. I didn't have my paintbrush here with us, so I got creative with my finger, and I'm just going to do what I can with what I have. And it's kind of fun to do that. I might put some leaves on like this, and maybe some leaves on the marking pen one too. You can make your flower look like anything you want it to be. It doesn't have to look like a real flower. It can be any flower you imagine. Paint. I might just wipe my finger off on my other stem. So now this is what I have. Some stems and some leaves. Now I'm going to take some glue, and I'm going to put it onto the bottom of my cupcake paper, like that. And I'm going to press it down wherever I want the flower to be on my stem. And since I have another stem, I'm going to do the same on this one. A little bit of glue. And you might have different colored cupcake papers. I know some have designs on them. That's just fine. Use what you have. I have a button for the middle. Other things that might work well are pom-poms. Let's see, any scrap of paper, any kind of cloth even, if you wanted to cut with cloth scissors. I brought a little piece of red paper here because I thought that would be cool for the middle, but I'm going to try something different. I could use my scissors, but I thought I could get a neat shape by just seeing what I could tear. And I don't know what I'll get, but in the end, it looked like that. And I'll glue that in the middle of my cupcake paper. It's kind of fun to try things in a different way. I could have used my scissors, they're right here, but I decided to try just tearing and getting a different shape. You could decorate your flowers any way you want to. You could even put, now remember, this can be any kind of flower you want. It doesn't have to look like a real flower. In fact, I put a stem that looks like that with stripes. And then I think I might even take my pen or my paint or whatever and do some curls as if there's some curly vines coming out from my flowers, like tendrils. Let's see. And there are my spring flowers. Look, I got a smudge here. Actually, you know what that is? Fernando stepped on that paper with his feet that got in the paint. This was where my paint was. He must have stepped right in my little paint dish. All right, friends, I hope you have a good time making your spring flowers. It's time to say goodbye, but first I want to do what we did last time. I would like to give you a hug, but since I'm here and you're there, I can't give you a hug through the camera. I would love it if you could wrap your arms around yourself and give yourself a hug for me. Squeeze with your arms wrapped around you. That is a hug from Miss Lynn, who's been thinking a lot about you and hoping you've been creating things and reading. I sure have. All right, friends. Now it's time to say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye. See you later.